again and welcome back to my channel. If you've never seen me before, my name is Chinyere of Chinyere and I am a Nigerian French based YouTuber. And if you're already subscribed to my channel, thank you so much for being here. Now, my video today, first of all, before I delve into this video, I want to first of all say that this is not to bash anybody. First of all, this is not to bash anybody. This video is not for mockery purposes, because no, that's not the issue here. I'm speaking from a very serious point of view, and understanding that women are principally the victims in this aspect. There are men, but there are not many. So today's topic, we're going to be talking about abroad husband. Yes, my husband is in the abroad. Yeah. Now, at the end of the day, what I'm just doing this video for is, one, for knowledge, is to educate, to give awareness if you don't know what is actually going on, to make you aware of actually things you have to look out for. And I will tell you that in most of the things I'm going to tell you here, I will definitely tell you to ask these questions. It's no joke. Ask those questions. Do not, for the sake of, oh, what will he think of me? Or maybe, no. A man who is deserving of you knows what to do. No one has to tell him anything. A man, listen to me, a man who deserves you knows what to do. You are the prize. You are the trophy to be won. And he has to know. He will know what to do. The masculine nature puts man as a provider, as a protector, as someone who is supposed to be in charge. All well and good. But there are men who have forgone what their DNA tells them, okay, to become something else. So without further ado, let's dive in. Right. Now, first and foremost, I'm going to say, because I have it all written down, as usual. I always like to write so that I don't forget, and so that everything that I've written, I will not be sounding like someone that is blabbing and talking and saying nonsense. Right? So, first of all, I have a lot of, women, or I've seen a lot of women go down this route. Oh, my husband lives in the abroad. My husband is coming. Then he comes, where he stays. In most times, when are you're wondering when this woman is gonna go, when is she going to meet her husband? She's having kids here in Nigeria. Are you beginning to ask, okay, these kids, do the government of the country where this woman is know that she is having birthing children, So I'm going to just, bring out some of the warning signs and things that you have to look out for, In French, it is méfiez-vous. Il faut se méfier parce que there are men who are on the prowl. They're only looking for their own satisfaction, not yours. All right? So when a man who says he's coming from the abroad comes to meet you and he says, oh, that he's he wants to marry you, he wants to do this, he wants to do that. Now, there are certain things. There are two types of abroad men, okay? There are the abroad people that have paper. And then there's the abroad that don't have paper. God forgive me. There is the abroad that knows what they are doing, okay? And there's the abroad that doesn't know what they are doing, what they came here to do. Do you understand? It may sound funny, but this is really an issue, okay? Then there is the abroad that is doing marriage by Bluetooth. And then there's the abroad that is doing, we got to be here together. Those are two different things entirely. So when a guy comes and says, he wants to, he wants to marry you, he's going to take you abroad, he's going to do this, he's going to do that. Listen, there are stipulations for a man who is coming to bring his family or his wife abroad. Now, if a man has his papers, even if it's his he can bring his wife abroad. That is given. If he's a nationality, he can bring his wife abroad. That is bam. But the case where you cannot come abroad if the man has no steady job, for you to be able to come here because your husband lives here means he's got a steady job. Means that that the government is aware and is sure that your coming here is not going to, put a problem on him financial wise, and then it's not also going to be a burden to them socially. Okay, that is a stipulation, that he must be able to have a steady job for that, and he has to have a house where he's living. He has to have somewhere that he calls his own, his apartment. Excuse me, I'm drinking some coffee. He has to have a place he calls his house. All right, whatever it is, it could be a one room, it could be a whatever. In some cases, knowing fully well that this person has a steady job and he's doing well, and probably his place is small, he could get a bigger apartment, and he has all those things working for him, even the children. Okay, so please find out. You have to ask these questions. What do you do? All right, what kind of job do you do? Demand to see his salary slip. It may seem forward, it may seem crazy, but my dear, this is happening. There are lots of women who are getting into these things, and before you know what's happening, boom, 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 babies are coming out. Boom, boom, boom. 1 year turns to 2 years, 2 years turns to 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and this woman has no clue, whenever or however she's going to come to the abroad. But meanwhile, she was told that, don't worry, I'm going to bring you abroad. You're going to come to the abroad. You're going to be my wife. You're going to stay with me. Now, secondly, you also have to understand that some of these men have left you in Nigeria, left these women in Nigeria to become burning machine. Okay? They become child factory. We've seen a lot of them. It's all playing out. Okay? Many of them just keep you back in Nigeria to have kids with you. All right? Meanwhile, they are married to someone else there. Okay? Now, what they will not tell you, in different cases, there are different issues or different reasons for getting married over here. But whatever be the case, when a man who is serious about getting you here, he will have no attachment to any other woman. Excuse me. So when you see yourself in a situation whereby there is a story about woman, the children is not an issue actually. He could have kids abroad. It's not a problem. Okay? So but when you begin to hear, the woman, that's when you're supposed to be using your number 6. Yeah, you're supposed to be using number 6 at that time. That time you're supposed to be telling yourself, okay, you be like, say, 419, or is this a range? That kind of a thing. You have to now begin to be playing ahead of the game. Now, one of the things I also noticed about this coming abroad of a thing, or my wife, my husband lives abroad, or my husband lives in the abroad thing, is that a lot of women, when they go into this, they have already taken it upon themselves and understood and said to themselves, okay, I'm leaving the country, and they just let go. They don't want to do anything anymore. They don't want to bother themselves. They don't want to, their own is they have packaged the whole of their minds, okay, that they are coming abroad. Work or everything, they just let it go. Okay? And I will tell you, as the video goes on, I'm going to explain something there. Now, like I said, do not be fooled as well by the abroad lifestyle. It's painted. A lot of things that you see here, listen, over here, this is not Nigeria. In Nigeria, a lot of things happen. People do a lot of nonsense and, it's like, no, it's Nigeria, not be Nigeria. When you come here, there is a system. That's what you have to understand. There is a system. Your success, your ability to climb, to move, to, is all dependent on your hard work. It's all dependent on, what you bring to the table. Okay, so if somebody who comes here from the first year says, oh, I'm going to abeg now, I just want the, make I just see as they be, until he's ready to wake up from make it just see as they be, then he will now tell himself, am I ready to work or not? I'm talking about somebody who's got his papers now. Okay, now he's going to ask himself, okay, he's going to tell himself, okay, maybe I'm going to work now, or maybe he's not going to work. Now, one of the mistakes a lot of people, a lot of guys who stay abroad make is, when you come abroad, at the time you have the period to, get your papers, get yourself regularized, integrate, which is very important. You must be able to integrate. You cannot say you live in a country that is not your fatherland, okay? And when they speak to you in the language of that country, you cannot express yourself. They begin, at that moment, a lot of things that you may be demanding for, they may not give it to you. Okay? So it's one thing for them to say, okay, now I come in here. A lot of them do not bother about an education. Now, when I'm talking about an education, I'm not telling you to go and do a master's. I'm not telling you to go and do a PhD. No. Basic professional skills. The way it is, and while I'm saying this is I'm using Europe as a case study. When you come here, the moment you get your papers, for them, one of the things and one of the most important things you must be able to do is to integrate. Integration meaning you have to be able to speak the language, communicate. They will help you. Okay, go to school, but you have to show that you are interested in it. They will help you. Go to school, you start speaking the language. Listen, nobody's asking you to be experts. If you become experts, all well and good, but nobody's saying, but you must be able to communicate. Why do they demand that you must be able to communicate? Because where you're going to work, the communication there is going to be in the tongue of the country. You will not, except if you work in an establishment that accepts English as which is your language or your official language or any other language that you know. But if that is not the case, you will be obliged to learn the language of the country. Now, after you integrate, for example, using France, the next thing they ask you is, okay, so what do you want to do? They begin to ask you, okay, so when you came from your country, what were you doing before? Do you want to continue there? Or we could help you to, Now, this is when you begin to talk about getting yourself trained professionally in a skill. A lot of people do not understand that there is no form of education. I keep on telling people there is no form of knowledge that is a waste. So when you come here and you tell yourself, okay, that you're not going to do any of those things, you are killing yourself. Because even the job of a cleaner has level. Yes, a lot of people think, okay, it's cleaning, it's just cleaning. They go and clean house, they go and clean this, they go and clean that. No, it's not just that. We have industrial cleaning. There are different forms of cleaning. The kind of cleaning you do in the hospital is different from the kind of cleaning you will do in a supermarket or in a plaza. It's different from the kind of cleaning you will do in someone's home. It's different from the kind of cleaning you're going to do, in different places. But a lot of people do not know that cleaning has level. You could be a cleaner and be earning up to 3,000 euros a month here. Everything is dependent on what you want to do. A lot of people look down on the small jobs and say, no, they cannot. And that is why I bring out my hand. I say to those who look at those jobs and say, I will do this. For whatever reasons that they have, I will do this. Because it is not moi moi, it's not cake, it's not akara, it's not beans. Do you understand? So you have to be able to understand this. You have to be able to understand this aspect. So this is what I'm trying to make you understand. What does this man do? My husband is in the abroad. There are so many jobs to do. But at the end of the day, does he have his job on the steady? Is he trained for the job he's doing? Because the training gives you kind of job security. Okay, so does this person have the training? And these are the questions you need to ask. Okay, so in this abroad that you are, what are you doing? You have to know what this person is doing. You cannot be with somebody who is probably doing something on the ground, and then you think, and then the heartache that comes with that thing. If I begin to break it down, this video will go up to an hour. It's not worth it at all. It's not worth it at all. If the person is into fraudulent activities, if the person is into one thing or the other, my dear, by the time you are living in that place and you have a husband who has been taken in by the police and then he's been taken to court and judged, my dear, the period of absence can make the woman run mad. And with the kids, and you are living abroad, I don't even wish it on my enemy. I have seen it happen. I have seen the women what it happened to, and it's not funny. I'm telling you, it's not funny. So you have to be able to bring out these two extremes. Do not be afraid to ask those questions, because my husband is in the abroad. Now scam. Yes, scam is not only with money. Scam also is with emotions, your heart. Many of them come, have the babies and abandon you and they go. All right. So these are the things you have to think about. Now, another thing is, I've talked about academically. This one, I've heard it so many times. And I refuse to believe it. My husband is in the abroad and you go and pay your bride price. Yeah. Oh, chim. In Nigeria, I don't think there's any culture. I'm not sure, I may be wrong. Please, if I'm wrong, let me know. But I do not think there's any culture in Nigeria, okay, that the woman pays her bride price. From what I know, okay, especially in Igbo land. Please, am I wrong? Do not go and do that. I don't even know how I'm going to even express myself in this one. That you, a woman, is marry a man who lives in the abroad. Then it's you that go and pay the bride price. Moving on. I've talked about this. For him to have a job, a steady job, means he has a documented lifestyle. And when I'm talking about documented lifestyle, he has a history of how he got to where he is. All right? I will say it again. Do not be fooled by the blink. Do not be fooled by what we see. The jungle here is rough. In Nigeria, heat, we have sun. There is hot. You have family. Here, it is cold. And not just that it is cold, it kills. When you have no home, when you have nowhere to stay, it kills. So inquire. This person must have a documented lifestyle. Does he have a history of what, You need to know all this. These are the question. What kind of life do you live? The place you are living in, the address you are living in, is it your own? Yes. Your address matters. Here, you have to have a place called yours with your name on your letterbox with your address. Your mails go there. Is he paying taxes? Your taxes, do they come to this address? Those are the vital questions to ask. The taxes he's paying, okay? Which address do they go? My husband is in the abroad. This is it. Where are the taxes going to? When the tax, Uncle Sam comes, where does the letter go? It's a very vital question. Question, oui. That's a very important question. So there must be a documented lifestyle of the person that he's saying, my husband is in my, that you're getting married to this person.
There to turn me around, make it alright, makes me feel like I need to